Hello, my name is Anna Colmer. I'm somebody who's trained in traditional acupuncture and zero balancing. That's my background. I've been privileged to work with the Supercoherence Frequencies since they came into being, whenever that was, 2009. So yeah, I've been working with them for all of that time personally and a little bit with other people. I would say that they've had a major impact on my life. I think it's hard to quantify, but I know that I'm not the person that I used to be back in 2009, and that the frequencies have been a big part of my personal journey. I wear the Return to Love frequencies most of the time, and I know I feel much better with them. I cope better with day-to-day life. The I Am frequencies, I wore the I Am female one for a fair length of time until the need for that was superseded by the I Am universal, and I wouldn't be without that. And I've also used the Supercoherence Panic to Calm frequency as an integral part of my first aid kit. So how have they changed things for me? Well, I would say that the biggest effect I've noticed over that prolonged period of time is that they've enabled me to process a lot of my emotional issues, a lot of my issues that are related in trauma and reactivity. And so a lot of the time I simply don't react in the way that I used to react to certain triggers and certain situations. I'm able to operate from a calmer and more stable place, which obviously gives me a lot more choices. And it's not that I don't feel things, but it's that I don't need to react in the same way. I don't need to get into the drama of it. And I look back and think how much of my earlier life and my earlier journey was kind of fairly heavily invested in drama, and just how much energy that took. And so, you know, there's energy available for other things in life. And what I particularly love about all of the frequencies is just how they're such a deceptively simple tools, and yet how profoundly they work on so many levels. But I'm somebody who loves simplicity. If anything's too complicated and too mind-boggling, I lose the will to kind of focus on that. But when something's simple and easy to use, which these are, but has all that kind of nuanced layers of what is possible, it appeals to me. It's a good marriage, if you like. And so I would say that the Return to Love, Supercoherence Return to Love frequencies have been an invaluable tool to me when I've been working with some of my personal issues. I've done all of the clearings that are in Thrity's books and on the website, and I've created clearings of my own, particularly around clearing ancestral issues, clearing ancestral emotions that have reverberated down the familial line, and that's been really huge, and it feels really very heartwarming and very precious to me that I'm not only clearing something for myself and leaving myself in a clearer and more coherent state from which to be in myself and in my life, but to know that I've had an effect on all of those who came before me and all of those who come after by the willingness to say yes to what's part of my experience and to embrace it and to allow the frequencies to do their magic and to transform that has been really remarkable and a huge blessing. So needless to say, I'm a huge fan of this system. And I know human beings for what they are. Most of them are like me, and that, you know, we don't like things to be like hard work, even if our issues mean that we're kind of invested in making things hard work. Actually, people respond better to things that are simple, that are easy to use, that allow people to transform in a way that they don't have to do 100 different things before breakfast. And the joy of this system is that it is very simple. There are these very beautiful, beautifully crafted, wonderfully put together and very powerful energetic tools, and that's it. You know, there are many permutations and possibilities for what you can then do with them, but actually they are as they are, and just being in their field, holding them, wearing them, regardless of anything else you may or may not do, it starts to transform things. And it may look like the world is just transforming around you. I mean, that's how we tend to see it. Oh wow, everybody around me has changed. But the reality is we have changed by being in this field. And I just love the simplicity of that. I love the elegance that goes with that. The fact that you don't have to sit and kind of be uncomfortable and chant something 100 times and, you know, run around the block another 100 times. The fact that you can just be with this. And as a system for helping the transformation of our world, you know, more people are going to be engaged if it's something that it's simple enough for them to understand, simple enough for them to use without having to make radical transformations in their life. That, I think, is, you know, one of the beauties of it. Therein lies its power, in additionally to the power that's actually resides in these things. And life is a paradox, is it not? And I've often found that what's so intriguing about the Supercoherence system, it allows things that can be very big and very charged to transform very quickly, such that sometimes if I've been upset or in a charged state about something, I think, okay, I just need to hold my frequencies reversed, for example, my return to love frequencies, and, you know, in a few seconds that's changed, and, you know, a minute or two after that it's kind of quite hard to remember what the stuff was even about, why I was even feeling that way. So, you know, these are profound, the tools. And yet at the same time, if there's something that is outside of my conscious awareness that I've been kind of dodging unconsciously for a long time, my experience has been that wearing and using these frequencies sure brings it up big time. And sometimes in the early days that, I have to be honest, wasn't always terribly welcome. Now, with the wisdom of the years, I recognise that things come up when they're ready to come up, and when you're ready to actually take a look at them and deal with them. But that's the beauty of it. It brings up the stuff, but it also gives you the possibility for transforming it quite quickly and effortlessly. And again, I'm intrigued and touched and tickled really by that apparent paradox, that it is both the thing that brings the issue into focus in a way that can be quite discomforting in the moment, and it can also be the thing that can take all the charge away from the emotion around that issue, such that just a few minutes down the line you're going, yeah, well, and sorry, what was it that was going on there? What was it I was actually upset about? Because it actually becomes hard even to remember. You know something's changed when you no longer remember what the issue was. The fact that it's both, that just touches something in my heart, because that's real. That's what life is like. Life is a paradox. So for me, whenever my journeys become particularly bumpy, on occasions I thought, it's those damn Supercoherence tools, isn't it, doing their stuff. But at the same time I can go, yes, you know, it's time to deal with that old chestnut, and now I can sit with that. Now I can maybe write a note to the universe about that and sit there with my Supercoherence Return to Love frequencies and do a clearing. So it both flags the need for what's next, and it gives you the tools to navigate what's next. And I think you can't say much more than that from the system.